joining us tonight. My name is Paul Norfolk, and I'm the assistant principal at Appleton Elementary. And I'm happy to be here tonight. I actually had the opportunity to be the assistant principal at Thunderhill for just a half a day a little while ago, so I feel like it's my school too. So it's wonderful to have all of our boys and girls together here from the Thunderhill and Appleton Elementary combined band. Let's recognize their efforts one more time. And it's wonderful that all of you have joined us this evening. Now we are waiting for Mr. Daly to join us. Let's have a big hand for Mr. Daly and all of his hard work. Mr. Daly? Where's Mr. Daly?
We always make some kind of...
Brad, weren't you in charge of Mr. Daly? You weren't in charge of... Oh, well, where's Mrs. Nowak? Because Mr. Daly's not here yet, and we have a big problem. Kathy Nowak, you have to conduct tonight. Where'd she go? Is she up there? We need a conductor. Mr. Daly hasn't gotten to school yet. What are we going to do? Who knows the first song, even? Is somebody you're going to conduct for us? We have a pro. I'm not conducting, I know that. We found there's somebody, oh, there is somebody. Hello, sir. Come on, sir, come on up here and join us, please. Later, I'll take that later. Come on up here, sir. Welcome to Appleton High School, and can you tell us your name, please?
What is the name of this place again, please?
This is Appleton High School. We've got our combined bands here from Thunderhill and Appleton Elementary.
Wow.
And sir, you are?
You don't know who I am, sir?
I'm sorry, no.
You are sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I am Mozart, of course.
Welcome, Mozart. Well, what a treat. What brings you to our school this evening?
Well, actually, I was sitting on this nice cloud with my friends Lenny and Ludwig, and this big lightning bolt just hit, and I find myself out in the hallway of this beautiful concert hall, and look at all these fine musicians sitting here. They're all matched. It looks like they were getting ready for their concert, yeah?
As luck would have it, we have a concert about to go on. Tell me, Lenny and Ludwig?
Well, Lenny and Ludwig are these two guys I hang out with on the clouds, you know, and Lenny writes these tunes about sharks and jets. I don't know what jets are. And Ludwig, he writes music. But I'll tell you, if I hear da 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 one more time, I'm going to push him right out of that cloud.
I know, that's got to be hard. Well, Mr. Mozart, we have a band here ready to perform, but we need a conductor. Do you think you can handle that for us?
Handel's not here. He writes nice music, but he's a really boring guy.
Can you conduct the concert for us?
Like lightning.
Excellent. I'm going to turn the stage over to Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
First half. Oh, that half?
Cool.
On that same cloud, I happened to share some space with some football coaches, so I was lucky I knew that. Just wait till the second half. Oh, and this next piece is by a friend of mine, AES Band. AES Band. It says here that you are in first grade, is that right? And it also says here you've only had 10 lessons, is that right? And you practice 90 hours a day, is that right? Oh, it's only 9 hours a day. 90 minutes a day. 9 minutes a day. How long do you practice every day? A half hour a day and 10 lessons. First grade. That's amazing. Thank you so much. We have Anthony. What is that instrument? What is that? A what phone? A saxophone. It's like something using the Alps. You ever seen them? They go, "Ooh," and then the cows, of course, sing along with it. I wrote a lot of music for clarinet and flute, so those are two of my favorite instruments. And now we have three of them. I never thought about writing three clarinets at the same time. It should be very interesting. You must have known I was coming with all these clarinet solos. Repeat right back. Right back.
That band, huh? I'm still not conducting, but I think we actually found Mr. Daly out in the hallway, so let's bring him on up. Let's hear it for Mr. Daly.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it did rain again, didn't it? Okay. These next two gentlemen you're going to meet, one is a new friend and one is a longtime friend. I used to say old friend, and they told me never to say old friend again. So, yeah, I'll give you a change for the 10 later. That's all right. First of all, let's introduce you to the new friend, and he's a real asset to us here. He's a student at Wild Lake High School. He's a multi-talented young man, plays percussion, and piano, and violin. Did I leave anything out? No? I got it all? Good. I didn't do it in alphabetical order, but what do you want? So, this is Mr. Alex Brown. The next gentleman, we met when we were playing gigs, not gigs, like the Corelli piece. Although that's where we got the word from. Gig is, to those of you who are uninitiated in the jazz terminology, that's a concert. Usually lasts 4 hours, and people are usually dancing, eating wedding cake and stuff, and they don't pay any attention to us. But we got to know each other, and he's a great drummer and a great friend. He's the assistant principal at Bowman Bridge Elementary School. Did I get that right? I keep thinking you're still at the other one. This is Mr. Bill Jenkins. And Bill assured me, and so did Alex, that they will use both hands today. Both hands each. And Bill will use his left foot and his right foot, all at the same time. There you go. All right. What is that for? Yeah, usually, I was going to say hit it, but that would be an unmusical way to approach things. You strike it gently in a da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da kind of thing. But he didn't like where the cymbals were. They look better over there? It's prettier that way. Like they say, any pilots in the audience? No, one. Well, there's a saying among pilots that any landing you walk away from is a good one. So far, so good. Okay, now the next, oh, there she is. Anna's over on the right side. Now, I want to explain something about the solos. I guess, did that other guy tell you about how they're picked? Solos, like the students pick their own, I work with them, the private teachers work with them, great. Okay, but Anna did something in addition to that, which is really great for ear training, and it really kind of starts people on the path of arranging and composing. What she did is she listened to a CD and used her ears and the bells to start picking out what she was hearing on the CD, and then transcribed it and then memorized it. So she's going to do a tune that she has transcribed by listening to it, and that's great ear training. That is the most expression I've seen on her face in the 2 years I've known her. She said that one. Nice job, nice job. The interesting thing about classical music is that, you know, all the beats are fairly even. But in jazz, we read a lot of the eighth notes and a lot of the symbols on the page. They look the same, but we don't interpret them the same way. As you know, when you're tapping your foot to jazz, it's got a whole different feel. So we're going to demonstrate how we first started to learn how to play some jazz by doing Skip to My Lou in the straight version, and then we'll stop and we'll add the...
We have to learn that by actually me singing it and them singing it back so we get the feel, because the person has to be able to interpret the same symbols two different ways, whether you see it's straight classical or if the word swing is written. So here's the swing version with the rhythm section. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is not a one-man show. It's all of us. That's why they call it a band. We band together. And it takes all of us. Absolutely every one of us. The private teachers, the principals, the assistant principals, the team leaders in 4th and 5th grade, and sometimes 3rd and 1st grade with Mr. Austin. Is he still here? It's past his bedtime playing this charter, right? It won't be in a couple of years. He'll be staying up late listening to Duke Ellington records. It takes so many people to make this stuff happen, and it takes you coming to enjoy it. And one of the things we stress throughout the year, in fact, it's the fundamental thing, and these guys and gals up here will tell you sometimes they get sick of hearing it, but I hope that later on they'll remember it, is that the reason we do this is so that we can give a gift to other people. In 14 years of doing this with elementary school, I've handed out 3x5 cards. I haven't done it the last couple of years, but never once did a child ever say they wanted to play in band to get rich or to be famous. Never once. And I handed out 3x5 cards for about 5 years. First 5 years I was teaching elementary. And it shows here. You know, when I keep telling them, I guarantee you, if you work really hard, you're going to have a good time. That's a hard thing to buy these days. That's a hard idea to swallow these days when everything is so fast and immediate, get the return key. But if they get that out of being in band, whether they go on as professionals or not, really, it doesn't matter to me. If they do, that's fine. But if they can carry that on into everything else they do, that's what's most important. That we do this for other people. Serve is not a bad word. It's the...
So unfortunately, he's not enough for this competition. I'm sorry.